Sheryl Sandberg, the trailblazing chief operating officer at Facebook, invites readers on an empowering journey in her book Lean In: Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. Through personal stories, research, and heartfelt advice, she shines a light on the barriers women face in pursuing leadership roles and inspires them to push forward with courage and determination. Sandberg draws from her own life, from her grandmother who defied expectations by returning to school and saving her family's business, to her mother's dedication to education and volunteering, and her own rise in a male-dominated tech world. She argues that true equality requires women to lean in, to embrace ambition, overcome self-doubt, and demand the support they deserve. This book is not just a call to action for women, it is a blueprint for building a world where everyone thrives. Let us explore its wisdom chapter by chapter, weaving in the key ideas, vivid anecdotes, and uplifting guidance that make it timeless. In the introduction, Sandberg sets the stage by reflecting on the progress women have made since the feminist movements of the past, yet she highlights the stark reality that women still occupy far fewer leadership positions than men. She shares statistics. Women hold only about 20% of top corporate jobs, 6% of Fortune 500 CEO roles, and a mere fraction of seats in global parliaments. But Sandberg refuses to dwell on despair. Instead, she inspires hope by pointing out that change begins within. Women must address both external biases, like unequal pay and inflexible policies, and internal hurdles, such as fear of failure or reluctance to speak up. Her grandmother's story exemplifies resilience, pulled from high school to work. She returned, graduated from UC Berkeley, and later turned a failing business around while selling watches from her car to fund a clinic. This narrative urges women to recognize their potential and lean in boldly, pursuing dreams without apology. Chapter 1 delves into the leadership ambition gap, the invisible divide where societal norms discourage women from aspiring to power. Sandberg explains how girls are taught to be nurturing and likable, while boys are encouraged to lead and compete. Labels like bossy sting girls who show assertiveness, planting seeds of doubt early on. She shares her own college days, where she and her peers believed the world was equal, only to discover persistent inequalities in the workforce. Yet, Sandberg inspires by reframing ambition as a strength. She advises women to set aside fears, aim high, and chase leadership roles unapologetically. Imagine a world where women run half the companies and countries. This vision fuels her call to bridge the gap through personal drive and collective support. Moving to Chapter 2, Sandberg urges women to sit at the table, a powerful metaphor for claiming space in professional settings. She recounts a meeting at Facebook where female executives sat on the sidelines rather than joining the discussion, even after she invited them. This stems from imposter syndrome, that nagging voice whispering you do not belong. Sandberg admits she felt it at Harvard, doubting her abilities despite top grades. But she inspires readers to fight back, recognize your worth, act confident even when you feel unsure, and seize opportunities. Her advice is practical: raise your hand, speak up, and own your achievements. By doing so, women transform from observers to influencers, proving that confidence is a skill anyone can build. Chapter 3 tackles the thorny issue of success and likability, where women face a double bind: achieve too much, and people view you as unlikable or selfish. Sandberg cites the Heidi/Howard study, where the same resume was praised as competent and appealing for Howard but aggressive and unlikable for Heidi. This bias affects promotions, pay, and negotiations. Women who advocate for themselves often face backlash. Yet, Sandberg empowers women to prioritize competence over popularity. She shares stories of female leaders who navigated this by framing requests collaboratively, showing concern for the team. Her inspiring message: embrace your success as a badge of honor, and redefine likability on your terms. True fulfillment comes from authenticity, not from dimming your light to please others. In Chapter 4, Sandberg reimagines careers as a jungle gym, not a rigid ladder. Traditional paths assume straight ascents, but real life involves twists, lateral moves, and leaps of faith. She draws from her own journey, from government roles to Google and Facebook, where sideways steps built invaluable skills. Sandberg inspires flexibility. Set a long-term dream, like making a positive impact, and pair it with an 18-month plan focusing on growth and results. Take risks, explore new branches, and build networks. This approach turns setbacks into stepping stones, encouraging women to embrace uncertainty and craft dynamic careers that align with their passions. Chapter 5 addresses mentorship, debunking the myth of waiting for a perfect guide like Prince Charming. Sandberg notes that women often seek mentors too aggressively, asking strangers outright, which feels forced. Instead, she advises excelling in your work to attract natural allies. Share thoughtful questions, offer value in return, and build peer networks. She shares anecdotes from her career, where organic relationships provided breakthroughs. The inspiration lies in agency. Do not chase. Create connections through excellence and reciprocity. This fosters a supportive community where women lift each other, accelerating progress for all. Authentic communication takes center stage in Chapter 6, where Sandberg encourages women to seek and speak their truth. Hierarchies and politeness often silence honest feedback, especially for women battling imposter fears. She promotes delicately honest dialogues, use I statements, acknowledge others' views, and share opinions humbly. Sandberg recounts team meetings at Facebook where candid exchanges sparked innovation. Her advice inspires vulnerability as strength. Regular feedback loops build trust and growth. By voicing truths, women challenge biases, advocate for themselves, and create inclusive environments where ideas flourish. Chapter 7 warns against leaving before you leave, the tendency for women to pull back from careers in anticipation of family life. Sandberg describes how young women decline promotions or risks, assuming future motherhood will demand sacrifices. This self-sabotage leads to stagnant roles and regrets. She shares stories of colleagues who leaned back too soon, missing out. Instead, inspire full commitment, stay engaged until the moment arrives, then make informed choices. This mindset empowers women to maximize opportunities now, building resilience for whatever comes next. Equality at home is essential, as Chapter 8 explains. Make your partner a real partner. Sandberg highlights how women shoulder disproportionate housework and childcare, even in dual-career households. Involved fathers benefit children emotionally and cognitively, closing gender gaps. She shares her own marriage, where shared duties enabled her success. Avoid maternal gatekeeping, let partners contribute fully. The inspiring vision: in a balanced world, women lead companies while men lead homes. This calls for open conversations, redefining roles to support mutual ambitions. Chapter 9 dismantles the myth of doing it all, that elusive perfect balance of career, family, and self. Sandberg admits no one achieves it, compromises are inevitable. She recounts her guilt as a working mother, juggling demands. Prioritize what matters, accept done over perfect, and seek support. This realistic advice inspires grace. Release guilt, focus on sustainable progress, and celebrate small wins. Women emerge stronger by embracing imperfection. In Chapter 10, Sandberg urges starting the conversation about gender issues. Silence perpetuates biases, open talks foster awareness and change. She encourages challenging stereotypes, supporting women's choices, and involving men as allies. Anecdotes show how discussions at work led to policy shifts. The inspiration: collective voices create opportunity, dismantling barriers one dialogue at a time. Finally, Chapter 11 calls for working together toward equality, framing it as a human issue. Sandberg envisions a future with no female leaders, just leaders. Men must lean in at home, women must support each other, avoiding queen bee rivalries. Her closing story of a young girl aspiring to lead reinforces hope. This unites us in building an equitable world. Lean In is more than a book, it is a movement. Sandberg inspires women to dream big, act boldly, and forge paths where none exist. By leaning in, we not only elevate ourselves but lift society. Embrace your power, the world awaits your leadership.